Hey, all you beautiful folks out there. So I just wanted to share an experience that I had tonight on my way home from work. So I was driving down Stadium. It's a very busy road, especially at 5 o'clock. Everybody's getting off work. There's a lot of places to eat there. So there's lots of turning and pulling out and pulling up and stopping and turning around. And there's a lot of stuff going on this street, right? This road. And so I was driving, I was the back car, and there was a car in front of me, and up about 100 feet, somebody pulled onto the same road in the same direction that we were going. Now, it was a pretty good distance up in front of the person in front of me. But apparently this person felt like they owned the roadway, and that tapping on the brakes, even just a tad, was beneath them. And so they proceeded to pedal to the metal, get up on this person's hind end, honking their horn, flashing their lights, flipping the person off. And I'm sitting there watching this like, oh my God, this person behind this other person who pulled out in front of her is going to end up causing a wreck, which is probably what she stressed out that almost happened, even though it wasn't even sort of kind of a wreck. And so I was just dumbfounded watching it happen. The person that was up in front of her pretty much came to a complete stop. Like, I mean, I thought either we're fixing to have a road rage situation and somebody's going to die, or somebody's having, a massive heart attack in the car that's pulling over. And the girl that was in front of me sped off. As I came up to the car, I'm thinking to myself, gosh, what harsh treatment for somebody who was just pulling onto the street. But then all these crazy thoughts, because it's what I do. I overanalyze everything. I thought, well, maybe she was on her way to the emergency room. Maybe she was in labor. Maybe she was in the middle of a heart attack herself, and that she was just so overwhelmed with emotion that she had to respond using, her half-ton vehicle to do so. As I pulled up and began to go around this lady, because there was clearly something going on, I pulled around her, and it's a little bitty old lady. I mean, she looked like she just came from the beauty shop. And she looked a little bit like this as I drove by. So, I say all that to say that much could have happened today. Much, including a wreck, including a heart attack, including something serious with this other person. The person behind her had no idea what she just caused this person to experience. So my encouragement, hey sissy, shut the door, baby. My encouragement for you is that when you're on the road, to remember that you have an enormously heavy vehicle, that just a few little tic-tacs one way or the other could cost somebody their life. And your behavior with your half-ton vehicle can cost somebody their life. You see, she didn't know that we had Grandma who looked fully capable of driving and pulled out just fine, had just experienced what is probably going to affect her well into her evening. And she went about her way. She had no idea, and maybe doesn't even care. And maybe you haven't until now cared. I want to remind you that the people you're flipping off and cussing out and, bullying with your vehicle could be your grandma, could be your grandpa, could be your little brother or your little sister, could be your mom or your dad. It could be you, and I know that for sure causes that testosterone to rise to the surface like, they ain't gonna come up on my vehicle, Bubba. Okay, I'm not talking about the fact that they couldn't do it to you and you wouldn't show them who's boss. I'm saying that in the day and time that we live in, you don't know who it is you're messing with. And you don't know what state of mind they're in. And you don't know what medical state of existence that they're living in. You don't know. And while you're so much in a hurry to get where you're going, you don't have to crash into somebody to get them out of your way. You don't have to use your vehicle to bully them out of your way. You don't have to use your profanity and your hand motions to send a message. You could just tap the brakes, put your blinker on and get into the other lane and keep on driving. And you can give people just a little bit of compassion because you don't know what they're going through. Love y'all. Just a thought. Word.